A section is a drawing that shows if we take the building and we cut it with a knife in the middle, assuming that they take the section in the middle. You can take the section any way you want. So assuming for a moment that this is in the middle, you can see coming up from the steps, you can see dimensions, how high each step is, how wide is each tread, the platform, the first step right here, second step right there, and the circles that you see here represent details. Architects and designers take an area and they blow it up, and then they say, here is how we're going to construct this threshold in this point right here or this point. You can see the staircase going upward, a platform, turn around, here's your dash lines, and then you come to this level right here. I thought the bell tower was here, but you know, as I said earlier, it's in the back side, you know. So I guess somebody walks up there, walks around the rail, they come here to ring the bell, or there's a rope usually through the building at the bottom where the priest rings the bell from underneath. Moving into the floor, pay attention to the floor right here, coming this way. This is concrete block moving all the way to the top. Here is a roof material or a grill or some kind of separation. This is the bell tower, the roof over it, a piece of wall resting on the beam. Here's the beam moving across. Here's a column on the other side. Here's a column, a column, a column, and a column that moves on the other side. How do I know they're on the other side? It's lighter color. This is darker. You see the line here is darker, and this is lighter. Then see this big beam right here, or a ring. We can call it the ring, like the ring that you have on your finger. Is moving around like a ring, and on top of the ring you have these metal pieces, drums, that one on top of the other, that they make this structure, and on top of it you have glass. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not turn my phone off, which I usually say, please turn all your cell phones off when you are in a lecture hall, but I want you to turn your phone off when you are also in your house. That way you can concentrate. Okay, I'd like to mention to you that if you pay attention to a line that starts from, oh, I lost my mouse. Here's my mouse. Okay. If you pay attention to the line from the staircase, from the entry to the right, moving upward here, moving here, is darker. The inner line is darker. You can see this line is darker. All the way to the top, coming up, going down, around and around. The reason is that defines the space. The section is a kind of a drawing that defines the space and shows us that this is the inner space of this structure or of this shelter. So the space is here. You can see this is in the background. This is in the background. This window is in the background. And we're supposed to feel the space that's created right here. On this drawing, we see the drums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was right, there were 8. Each drum is placed on the top of each other. Here's the detail of the drum. And the detail right here is this one, where the two drums have been bolted together with a bolt. This detail is here, which is concrete block. You have a piece of steel plate, and then you have the drum, which is at the bottom of it has a steel plate, and has also a drip edge. This is a drip edge, which the water comes down and drips right here. And then there is a bolt that holds it together, and right here the zigzag line that you see is a representation of insulation, to insulate the wall so that you don't have condensation and you have heat loss from the inside to outside. In this case you see two metal plates with a bolt, and then the detail to the top, which is this, is here. On this one now you have the metal bending backwards right here. You have a vent and then you have a T, double T, and that holds the glass on the top, which means the hot air goes all the way to the top right here and vents this way, down this way, and out. Or the wind, the breeze, comes in like that, goes in that way, and pushes the hot air on the other side, which either way happens. This protects this vent from rain, because when it rains, it drips down here and drips down. This is a very good example for you to see how architects move from the overall picture, overall concept, into very, very detailed structure of creating a space for, in this case, is a shelter for religious use, a church, basically. So I'm going to stop here for a moment, and I'll come back for one more slide. In this drawing, you see the floor plan. The floor plan is the most important drawing with the section. I believe that the floor plan, and the section are the two most important drawings that architects really create. In those two plans, everything is there. If a good plan and a good section is there, you have a very beautiful, a very clear building. If those are not there, the building is really messy, unclear, and contractors will never be able to build it, and they will have tons and tons of questions all the time. So I will walk you through this floor plan. You see here these lines represent dimensions, steps, arrow always facing upward. That means you're moving upward here. A platform, two doors. This is a door, and a door opens quarter circle. You see a little circle right here probably represents the number of the door, what door number we'll call it, which then you specify what type of door, how big, what material, and so on and so on. You see here another circle of the door. You see the staircase going this way, staircase that way. So I'm assuming that you're going to be stopping this drawing at some point, and then you can draw it for about 15 minutes. Each of these blocks represent big concrete blocks that they were brought to build this building. And dashed line represents lines above. You can feel the little space right here. It's very tight, very small. It's compressed. You come in, you feel compressed. You see that something happening upstairs, but you don't know exactly what's happening. You go through this, and then look what happens here. You will find yourself in this main rectangular or square kind of space that is all open with these columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 columns. It's a colonnade. It's almost like, imagine that you're moving into a space which is a square or a rectangle, almost square, and then you see 8 columns in a circular shape in the middle. Centrality, center is here, right here. It reminds you of ancient time. It will remind you of, Hogan in New Mexico, like where they have the columns in the middle. It will remind you for many, many types of old shelters, but this is now contemporary. The lines that you see between the columns right here are beams that the lines, the solid lines that you see between columns is a piece of marble or stone on the floor. The dashed lines that you see next to it, 2 dashed lines next to it, is the ring or the beam around on the ceiling, on the roof, that holds the drum, that holds the big metal drum, which is basically the dome of this church. The 4 shapes at the bottom that you see here are stones on the floor. That's how the design of the floor, the stone on the floor is. So whatever is on the floor is a solid line. Whatever is a dash, or whatever is on the ceiling is a dashed line. Let's look around. You see a solid wall to your left as you come in to the left with a window right here. Solid wall, solid, a window to the right here. Solid to the corner, double door, solid. Opening, which is the altar space is here. Solid, two doors and a solid corner. You can feel it. If you close your eyes and you look at the space in your eyes, you will feel the space. This is how architects design. What you see is the result of the thought that you already have in your mind. If you just close your eyes right now, think of a box, a shoe box that is square, and see the center, and then put 8 columns in the middle. There's a ring on the top. There's a drum on top of it that moves like sloped inward. And then there's an altar at the center of the back wall. You will be able to see the space. Thank you very much for listening to this explanation of one of the modern shelters. Then my next will be the Joan Utzon's house in Mallorca, Spain, one of the most remarkable houses that have been built by Joan Utzon, who was the architect for the Sydney Opera. Thank you.